Hey,
All right,
welcome everybody.
It's a new year.
2026. Oh, I forgot my pom poms. I got pom poms actually. They're probably in the closet somewhere. I have to go look for them. So I haven't used them in a while. Welcome
All right.
everybody to a brand new year.
And we are so excited to be in 2026, a new year, and
Yes,
we are ready for you. So,
it's January, and everybody's talking about goals, vision boards, fresh starts. But if homeownership is on your 2026 list, then you should already know if you've been listening to us in 2025 and 2024 and 2023 that wishing is not the same as planning. So
no.
today we want to break down how to set smart homeownership goals, Chicago style.
Yes, yeah, because we see people every year who want to buy. Every
Mhm.
year come to us, they said they want to buy. And so this year, let this year be your year. So we want to make sure we define how and when, right? You want to buy. How can you buy? When do you want to buy? Those are things that we actually have to plan, right?
Yes.
And so that's what we're gonna do today. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk about it.
And who are you, my lady?
Hey, I'm Dione Branch, and I am with Allure Dream Homes, brokered by EXP.
All right. And I am Lisa J. I'm with Nexa Lending. Well, I can't say brokers are better anymore. They don't want us to say that. But I am with the company that has tons of options for you when it comes to real estate financing, whether it's for commercial, for residential. We have a lot of different options and programs that we can help you with, especially our first time buyers.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
All right. Okay, so let's get into it. All right, so we're going to talk about New Year motivation versus real preparation. Because a lot of times people get started, everybody's really excited. It's the new year. Woohoo, we got past another year.
Yeah.
Everybody celebrating and all of that. But motivation is one thing, being motivated, because a lot of times that only lasts for a short period of time. I think that they say it's a date for this, Dion. I
For
believe it's you. Do you
for
know
new
it?
for New Year's resolutions and how long
Yes.
they last.
Yes. What is it?
Yeah. It's kind of like the next Monday or something.
I think the date is like January 18th, something like that. It's like the 18th or 15th. I'll look it up to know for sure, but and then maybe I can put it in the comments. But yeah, usually by around the middle of January, basically, people have pretty much given up on their goals for the entire year.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
having motivation is not going to be enough because your new year motivation is not good enough for you to be able to carry through the remaining steps that are going to be necessary for you to become a homeowner. So what we want to talk about today is real preparation, because that's what you want. You don't want new year motivation, you want real preparation. So real preparation is going to be buying with the strategy, because buying home is not a resolution. It actually is a strategy. So we want to talk about, like, for example, common January home buyer mistakes. This is what a lot of people do. They wait too long to talk to me. Why are you waiting? Your very first step should be talking to a lender. I mean, obviously, if you're on, because it happens a lot, Dion, right? Where people are online and then they see a house, they click the button to get more information. They get connected with a wonderful person like yourself, a realtor. So when you get connected with Dion, that's great. But the actual start of your preparation really is talking to me as the lender, because you have to know what you're going to be working with as far as being able to purchase a home. You need to know your purchasing power. Another thing that's a mistake, aside from waiting too long to talk to a lender, would also be assuming that your credit is fine. Oh, my credit is okay. I'm good. You know, Credit Karma say, I'm 655. I'm good.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, Credit Karma is not a lender score; it's a consumer score. That's the first thing. So just by the fact that you're looking at Credit Karma and not actually having somebody like myself, delve into your credit with you, that in itself is not a really good method. That's not the best strategy because that probably is not going to be sufficient. Another thing is that credit is going to be more than just your number. So, we would talk about things like that. And I would say a third thing that would be a mistake that sometimes people make, at the beginning of the year, in their excitement and their motivation, sometimes they make the mistake of underestimating things like Chicago taxes.
Yeah.
Chicago's
Chicago taxes is really a big thing especially over the last year and a half,
Oh yeah.
where people have been thinking that they could buy a house and they're hoping to buy a $300,000 home. But the taxes have really affected them in a negative
Mhm.
way, where it shows them that maybe they could, at this point in time, they might only be able to afford a $250,000 home.
Yep.
So, which is a big difference as far as what you're looking for. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yep.
So underestimated Chicago taxes is definitely a big one.
Mm-hmm. And HOAs too, sometimes because some of these HOAs are up there with their
Yeah.
monthly fees and stuff.
I find it more in the condos and kind of like the
Townhomes.
not even the townhomes. I find it like in the mid city areas
Oh, okay.
you know
Location wise, I see what you're saying.
where the HOAs are a lot more higher. Um so
You think
yeah.
it's lake access? Is it have something to do with maybe being close to the lake or something like
Yeah,
that?
co-ops that,
Yeah.
maybe they'll look at it and, oh, the price is only, so and so thousand, like very little,
Mhm.
but then but your HOA is $1,000 per month,
A
right?
month, right.
So that's a big difference.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you still got to pay property taxes too, because
Right.
it's still a home. So
Yeah. Yeah.
insurance, that's another one. There's a third one because, and I think everybody knows by now, insurance has been increasing a lot
Yeah.
over the past few years, pretty much since we came out the pandemic, right?
Yeah.
It's been going up,
To
up,
me, I
up.
don't think like people talk about it as much as they don't understand it as much as like the Chicago taxes, but
Yeah.
definitely the homeowners insurance has gone up, and that has affected your buy as well, because in the end
Uh-huh.
Lisa has to look at all of this, and she has to put all the numbers together, and they have to fit into their debt ratio, and make sure that
Right.
it doesn't go over a certain amount. And so then after that, when you got this high insurance, you got this high taxes, it's like terrible altogether. So, but don't get discouraged. Don't get
Please
discouraged.
don't. Yes, because you can still keep going. But
Right.
that's one of the reasons why starting early actually gives you some degree of leverage.
Hmm.
Once you can plan, once you know what you're working with, and you can be prepared in order to be able to handle whatever's going to be coming your way. And you'll know what to be prepared for because
Yeah.
you have already done, some kind of a forecast of area, price, and different things like that. And so we factored all those things into your personal financial
Yeah.
situation.
And Lisa and I, we always talk about the P's, right?
Yeah.
Plan, prepare, so those are definitely important in this home buying process. So make sure you don't forget about the P's, because, there's many buyers that say, come to us every year, like, this year, I'm going to buy. I'm going to
Yes.
buy. This year, I'm going to buy. I was like, oh, okay. And, we hear it all the time, but there's a difference between dreamers, right? So if you just kind of like, I'm just on social media now, even on social media, I'm on social media looking at houses. I'm on Zillow, Redfin. I'm just scrolling, look at the houses and how pretty they are. You're dreaming. You're just a dreamer. You're a dreamer. You're a browser. So you're
Yeah.
just kind of looking and looking at all the houses. And sometimes I've gotten these people and they know more about the house. Oh, this house been on the market 3 times. It was falling off. I was like, and I'm thinking, oh, I thought this house just came on the market. No, they would know more than
Okay.
me. But those are dreamer browsers. But that doesn't get you where you want to be. You want to be a prepared buyer, right?
Absolutely.
And that is the key. And we come here every week and we talk to you about all the different things about the home buying process and make sure that you understand, because in the end, when you're ready, we want you to be prepared. And we want you to
Be
come
me.
to us right in the early on. If you're thinking about buying a house this year, come to us now. And so
Hmm.
it maybe you don't want to purchase until June, but we can do some things in order to help you and guide you and make sure that by the time June gets here, you're not coming to us in April and finding out that June isn't even a possibility.
Hmm. And we have had a number of people that, have told us over the years, I wish I had been in contact with you sooner. That's
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
right. Big thing that people will say that I wish I had gotten in contact with you sooner. I would have been better prepared, for walking this journey.
With you, yeah. And
Hmm.
sellers like a prepared buyer. They know that you're prepared because
Yeah.
they don't have to negotiate. They may not have to give so much credits towards closing. I mean, those are some things that help you with the transaction. But they also, when you're going through the transaction and now, oh, there's really a need that we can't close because didn't do this, or this and this may have happened, that causes the seller to have to do something because they're thinking, oh, everything's great. We're going to go ahead with this transaction. And now they're finding
Right.
these hiccups along the way. So they don't know whether to stay with you along the journey or to get
Hmm.
out. Right.
Yep.
And so,
That's
and
true.
right. And most times they have to stay because they've invested in this transaction just as much as you have.
Yeah, they have. Right. And they don't know what they'll be dealing with somebody new. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. And we talked about the taxes already a little bit, but that kind of goes along with the city and the sub versus the suburb mind shift, right? So
Okay.
for me, right, because
Mhm.
when I think of the city, I think of lower taxes, things. A lot of people think of crime, but I think of
Okay.
right. But I see the same thing in the suburbs as well. But the suburbs, the taxes are a lot higher. So I don't know. We got this. People
Like,
decide
how do
where they want to, right,
you
like where they
right.
want to be, right, and stuff,
7.
right. Well, yeah, and so we have to, you got to figure it out. And
Right.
I would say, definitely have a decision, drive neighborhoods, look around, have an
Yeah.
idea, because sometimes the grass is not always greener on the other side
Yeah.
as
Yep.
well.
Yep. You got to know what you want.
Hmm.
So earlier we mentioned that we would be talking about setting a smart home ownership goal today. So there is an acronym for the word SMART. It stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. So that's how we get the word SMART. It's the acronym. So anyway, one thing. So if I can just give an example real quick for our audience. So an example of having a SMART goal would be, instead of saying, you know what, I want to buy a house, you say, I would like to buy a 2-bedroom condominium that costs less than $300,000 in the south suburbs of Chicago by October 2026.
Yes,
You
I would love that
hear the
person.
difference?
I would love that person because right,
We both do.
right, because we have people that some need clarity between city and suburbs. Where do you want to buy? I don't know. I probably want to. I think I like the city and the suburbs.
Which one?
Or they say I like the south suburbs. Even if they tell me I like the south suburbs, well, Chicago has a lot of south suburbs.
Right.
Chicago has a lot of suburbs. Chicago has a lot of 77 exactly city
Is it
neighborhoods.
77? Really?
So when you tell me I want to live in the city, what does that mean to me?
Right.
Uh,
Yep.
okay. You want to live on the south
South
side,
side, north
north
side,
side,
west
west
side.
side? Like that still doesn't even give me an idea.
True. It's better to know like the neighborhoods, right? Like you want
Yeah.
to live in Auburn, Gresham, do you want to,
Right. I want to live as far in the city as possible. Okay. You want to live in Ashburn. You
yeah.
want to live right. You want to live like I can tell you. Well, that'll give me a little direction.
Yeah.
But to say I want to live on the south side, and I think it's important for you to know that because it helps you define what you're actually looking for. It makes your search a little bit more reachable,
It
right?
does.
Your goals are become reachable because you actually have an idea of what you're searching for. Like
Mhm.
Lisa said, a 2-bedroom condo, right?
Less than 300,000 in
Under
the south
300.
suburbs of Chicago by October 2026.
Right. And how far do you want to drive? I work downtown, but I only want to drive to work 30 minutes.
Mhm.
That's a difference, right? Besides, so now you really don't want to live in the
In the
suburbs.
south suburbs, right? You want to be someplace probably in the city because it's going to take you 30 minutes, even if you're just on the south side of Chicago.
On the south side of Chicago, right?
Right.
30 minutes. I want to be able to walk to work. Oh,
Mhm.
okay. You want to live up north. You want to live in South Shore area, not it was South Loop area, or
Yeah.
you want to, okay, that's understandable.
There we go. Now we getting somewhere.
That we get so there's a lot of different things as a buyer that you need to kind of think about when you're defining when we're looking at these smart goals.
Hmm. And so, what about vague goals? How do you feel about that?
They waste your time. They waste your time. They're wasting your time and they're wasting the time of the people that you're working with, right? So because it doesn't it if we're looking for if your goal is to purchase a home within the next 3 months,
Hmm.
you gotta you kind of have to narrow things down. How much do you want to spend, right? And so a lot of times I may ask like, what's your budget?
Yeah.
Because you may be able to afford a house that's 700,000, but you only want to spend at least 300,000. So we know
Yeah.
to stay within that budget. And if you don't find anything within your budget amount, you have the opportunity to change your budget, right?
Yep.
You can communicate that and then we can make adjustments for it. But
Right.
to just not have any goals, the vague goals, not
Vague.
defined as
Yeah.
far as what you want to do, it kind of you're not going to be able to reach what you want, and it makes people like Lisa and I more difficult and for us to help you get to where you want to go because you don't really know what your goal is, and so we can
Right.
help you reach it.
Right. Because if it's not a quote unquote smart goal, then it's going to be difficult to you. How do you even know if you reached it?
Yeah.
Did we reach the goal? Is this what we were supposed to end up with? I didn't know it was going to look like this at the end. Like,
Right. Yeah. Like, well, I got this house, but I really wanted a 4-bedroom house, and yeah, it's okay. So now you're not even happy with what
I'm
you got
happy,
because
right, with
you
your
because
purchase.
you
That's
didn't
not
even
good.
really have an idea of what you wanted. So
Hmm.
think about those things when we get ready to start out. All right.
Absolutely. And so as we transition into that, making those goals and things like that, we want to make sure you're ready. So there's a few things that we look at in order to get you ready. So, I always do my spiel about being CIA. I told somebody that earlier today. I was like, yeah, well, because I'm nerdy and I laugh at all my own jokes, I call it CIA just because that make me laugh. Anyway, CIA is credit, income, and assets, and that's what I focus on
Oh,
as
I thought it was something else.
uh-uh. Now you laugh at my jokes too. um, but yeah, CIA is credit income assets. So credit readiness is going to be extremely important. But I cannot emphasize this enough because, and it seems like it's been coming up more
Mm-hmm.
recently than in time past. Credit is not just a number.
Yeah.
People think, oh, Credit Karma said I got a 700. Well, boo boo, I've had people come to me to have a 700, but they still couldn't buy a house.
Yeah.
Wanna know why? Because of their
Right.
credit. Well, what you mean because of their credit? 700 should be all good. Yeah, but not when you got a bankruptcy that was just discharged 12 months ago. No, it's not all good.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So credit is not just the number, that it's a credit profile. And what's in that profile is really what underwriters and people like myself are going to look at. The lender should be looking at your profile, even to pre-qualify you. I do it. I can't speak for everybody, but everybody should do it. It's good practice,
Yeah.
to look at and analyze your credit, see what's actually in your history, look at your trade lines and different things like that. Don't just look at the score. You need to actually analyze the profile of the credit to make sure that it meets the guidelines that are going to be required in order for you to be able to successfully complete a loan.
Yeah.
Um,
I
Go ahead.
wanted to jump in because a lot
Sure.
of times, just recently, a lot of news has been like, oh, well, the credit limits are no longer there. Whereas, oh,
You
you
mean
can
Fannie
get,
Mae?
yeah, Fannie Mae saying that there's no credit limit there. And then I think also like with conventional loans, that there's been some conversation about credit limit and no credit limit. But what happens is, even though there's no credit limit, I think that, to me, I believe that the ideas are still there, right? If you
Very
have
much so.
Right, if you have under a 600 credit score, let's 580, something like that, your interest rate is going to be higher. You're
Gonna
going
be
to need to
impacted.
put more money down, and you're not
Yeah.
going to qualify what you all call us and say, I got a first time home buyer and I should be able to get some money. Not with a
Not with that
500,
credit.
not with bad credit. It still applies. It
Right.
still applies, right? And
Yes.
they might come and say, "Oh, well, my credit score is a 620, right?"
Mhm.
Okay, well, 620, maybe there's some programs for you, but if you have a 640, a
40 and
little higher,
660. Yeah.
660, then you're in a better place to qualify for some of those grant programs that are
Mhm.
out there that you want to take advantage of.
Right.
So don't come and say, well, my credit is good and it's under 600, and
Mhm.
want and I want the bells and whistles of someone with a higher credit score. A higher
Yeah.
credit score, they might not even need the down payment assistance because their down payment interest rates might be lower. They might have, lower down payment amount because they get a little bit more. It's like buying a car. When they say
Yeah.
0% interest, come
Right.
and get this Lexus, they
Right?
not
That's
talking
not
to
for everybody.
they're
We
not
not
talking
talking to
to the
y'all that's got
580.
550 right on your credit.
Right.
Come
They're
get
not
this Lexus with
talking
your 500 credit score. No, 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 sir, no, ma'am.
not happening. Right. They're not talking to you. So,
Right.
so they're talking to
So,
the person whose credit score is 700 and
yes,
up. Like if
yes.
you have a 700 and you're trying to get to an 800, come on and give us a call, because to us a 700 is like an 8. It
I
is,
like that. We're gonna have to make that into a reel.
right. So you don't have to do anything else, right? You're there. But if you're a
Right.
little lower, then we need you to do a little bit more.
Well, why don't you, since you kind of already into that, we basically just covered some of the things that are important in regards to a pre-approval, your credit,
Mhm.
your income, your assets. But
Right.
I think it'd be really good to talk about how those kind of things, the financing that we put together, how does that impact what you do?
Yeah. So then it helps with your offer strength, right?
Mhm.
So when we're going out and we're looking at homes and we're placing an offer, it's good that we have, right now everybody has a pre-qual and said, because Lisa can't say pre-approval, we do, but Lisa does a pre-approval, right? She's
Yeah.
checking your credit and everything. So then when we're putting the offer down, Lisa can call the other agent and
Yeah.
have a conversation with them and let them know, like, hey, my client's good. We've
Mhm.
already checked their credit. Everything's
We
great.
ran
We're good to go.
AQS. We're good to go. We're ready with assets. How soon do you want to close? Yep.
Exactly. We can close within 30 days, right? Like those are the things that we can say. So all of that helps with our negotiating power because now as we're out, we're in competition with other people because everybody has been waiting for the last year and a half in order to purchase a house. Oh my goodness. So this summer, I really pray that this is what's going to happen because
Hmm.
we need some more buyers out here. But this summer, if things go the right way, maybe not be good for you. It'll be okay for me.
Right.
But
It'll be good for us
for
because there'll be a
us,
lot of people out there
will be
probably
a lot of
looking.
people. And so that'll be a bad thing for you because you all waited for over a year and a half when there wasn't a lot of people and there are a lot of nice homes that are out there. So
Yeah.
now we need to be able to have a strong offer. We might not can't negotiate as much as we could in the last year and a half and get a credit towards closing, but we're always going to try, right?
Absolutely.
And make sure that we're creating these good offers. And
And
then
you the selling credit whisperer anyway, so you could just stop. But I got a suggestion to help combat what Miss Dion just said. You call us today, we'll get you right.
right, let's
So
do
you
it
ain't got to be
now.
out there with the people in the summertime trying to
Right,
fight
don't
over no
wait.
house.
Right, right. You say you want to be in the house by April or June. Let's call us now.
Call
So
us
maybe
today.
we, figure it out because a
Today.
lot of times the landlord will go ahead and let you out of your lease,
Hmm.
especially when you're close to the end of it. They
Hmm.
they'll be like, okay, yeah, go ahead and go. Especially if you've been a good tenant for over some years. Don't figure that you have to wait until your lease ends in order to get ready
Right.
to buy. All right.
Yeah. Right.
Have a conversation with your landlord once you get your pre-approval and set and say, hey, realistically, I'm gonna be out in about 3 months.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
Absolutely. So
we talked a little bit about time in the market.
we kind of did, yes. We got ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, we did.
But that's okay. So we do still want to touch on some of these things or that we have notes about because like we just mentioned, spring isn't always necessarily the best time. For some people it is, but it can be more competitive. And like
Mhm.
Dion was just saying, we anticipate that people are going to flood into the market this year. So it's been some positive things happening within the market, in favor of home buyers. So it's a good possibility that we'll see a lot of people flooding into the market. You might not want to be caught up in the flood, so
Yeah.
you come right before it, and that may be perfect timing for you.
In November, December of this year, I think a lot of people kind of got tired of waiting, and so then there were a lot of buyers during November and December. So if
In
you think of
25, yeah.
in 25, right? So
Mhm.
now think about it. They've probably waited during the Christmas time and New Year's, and in February when the taxes are out, people might get ready to start buying again. So
Yeah.
make sure you beat the real crowd and
Right.
just kind of get started.
Hmm.
Let's have the conversation.
Absolutely. Did you
Mhm.
want to still hit the part about inventory patterns or no?
There, well, we could just say, hey, there's houses out here. Like there are houses out here for sale. And
There we go.
actually, some houses have been on the market a little longer than they want to be, and sellers are actually willing to probably negotiate a little bit
Okay.
more.
Makes
And
sense.
so this is the time that we really should be out here. If you're looking for a deal, maybe go ahead, come on now so we can kind of get this deal because
Right.
we're not in a seller's market, we're not in a buyer's market, we're in a normal market, but depending on houses, sellers are willing to negotiate. And so because they want to actually sell their home and move
Yeah.
on to their next home. So
Yeah, absolutely. That's how that works. I think a lot of times people don't consider that when you're the buyer, all you think is from your perspective, and that's it. But it's
mhm.
other people that's also impacted by your purchase,
Yeah.
So we have to keep all that in mind. Since we're coming up to the end, we want to do a couple of quick action steps so you guys can take with you as you kind of prepare and get ready to call us and get your home buying journey started. So, step number one, define your timeline. Step number two, get your credit reviewed
Yes.
early as
Yes.
possible,
Right.
like
And if
yesterday.
you and we do have a credit partner, Maurice Holmes, who we can actually refer you to help you correct your credit or even advise you.
Yep, absolutely. Third step, learn your true monthly payment. So it's not a surprise. It
Yeah.
shouldn't be, your monthly payment should not be a surprise. That
What
shouldn't
can
be.
you afford? Determine
Hmm.
what you can afford. You know what you're paying now, and
Uh-huh.
maybe you have a lease and you're paying $1,500. Maybe you want to know a little bit more. So start to kind of start to pretend that you're paying that mortgage now.
Yes.
Put it
I
on the
like that
side.
idea.
Save it.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yep.
Yep.
You
All
got some
right.
steps?
Number four. This is a big one. This is big for me. Pick 2 to 3 realistic areas. Just let that sit there for a minute. I'm just for real. Let it sit there. Pick the pick an area. Pick an area. Right. All right.
She just
I'm
wanted to
just
reiterate that you guys pick 2 to 3 realistic areas.
right. Right. Realistic. Right. Like I wanna buy a house in, let's say, Bolingbrook,
Yeah.
but my pre-approval is only for 220,000.
Oh, no. Yeah, that's not gonna work.
Not gonna work.
Mm-mm.
And it makes no sense for us to think it is. All right. So
Yeah.
all right. Understand the inventory. So it's the same thing. Understand the inventory, not Instagram. Right. Like not Zillow, right? Like understand what's out there and what. So it kind of still goes with the same area. Like understand, okay, this is about my budget, what I can afford, and though these are the areas that I can, and these are the style of homes. And so
Yeah.
one thing people always need to think about is this is my first home,
Mm-hmm.
not my last home.
Okay.
Right. So
Good advice. That's good
yeah,
advice.
you can definitely start here, stay there for a few years, and now you take that equity from that first home and then get to the next house. So we don't
Hmm.
always have to start out big and strong, right?
Yes.
And then the last thing is build your team early. And who's your team? Right, I got to point the other way. Right,
Right.
right. Start with us. Contact us. Plan. Prepare. We're here for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we want to end our segment tonight by giving you a word. The word for this week is plan. And a couple of things to remember is a goal without a plan is just a wish. And planning is how keys happen. I should have
All
brought
right. All
my
right.
keys.
I
What, what you got? What you got? What's your words to remember, Dion? What you got?
I don't know. Look, I was going to tell her how to get in touch with you. Do I got a word? I thought we didn't
You
have. Do I
do. It's
got a
one down
word?
there for you. Plans adjust, dreams fade, and then buyers who plan buy.
All right. All right. I lost my space on my notes. Right.
Oh, that's okay.
But let's hear while you're planning and you want to get ahead and get in contact with us, start with Lisa. If you want to talk finances, you could
Yeah.
give her a call. Lisa at Nexa Lending. All right.
Mhm.
And then if you want to discuss what are some possible areas that you can actually start to look into, and I can create a search for you so you can start to see the inventory while we're preparing and get an idea of styles of homes and how you
Yes,
might like these different houses, and just anything about the home buying process and what you can do prior to us getting started, give me a call. I could definitely direct you in the right place. Maurice with credit, we have a team of people that we work with that can definitely help you along this way.
absolutely.
Right? And if you ever want to list a home, we always talk about buying, but I do help sell houses as well as list them. So we can sell your house, make a plan to sell your house, and then buy the next
Buy
one.
your next one. That's right. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us again for Water Cooler Wednesday, Chicago Real Estate Conversations.
Yes, yes, we are here for you. Don't forget, ask us any questions. We're so excited for you for this new year. Yes, 2026, and we're ready.
Woo!
Bye.
See you next week. Bye.